funny thing I was gonna ask you, I was gonna text you earlier. I'm like, yo, like, did you trade today?
I did. I actually took two
Mm.
trades today. The first one I got stopped out, and the second one, 2R
In
win.
futures is the day trade
Futures.
and stocks.
So I
Okay.
was trading ES,
Mm-hmm.
which is S&P,
Ooh,
S&P
this is
futures.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. So I caught a short this morning, and I was in the trade for about maybe 2 hours actually. Yeah, it was a long one. Actually, my trading window is usually from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I still have a full-time job, so
Who do you use? The Trading View? Like
So
what
I use
platform?
TradingView as my trading
Yeah,
platform.
yeah.
A lot of people use different brokers, but I'm trying to get funded right now
Oh
through.
boy.
I don't want to plug TopStep. Obviously, I don't know, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to get funded through TopStep, and for me, this is actually a test in this part of my journey.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if I don't pass the evaluation, then the revision needs to be done. I need to go back to the drawing board, kind of ask myself, what am I doing wrong, and just review data, go back, collect some more data, and make sure that
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing things the right way. And if I do pass it, then job's not done. Obviously, you have to get a payout and then continue to make this like your full-time thing. But
Where do these patterns come from?
where do these patterns come
Because you
from?
hear some like I learn from Trap or whatever the case was, and I take whatever from whoever is, you know, me and whatever resonates with me.
Yeah,
And he's like, how there's like, he says terms like, you got to look for the flag when you're looking at the chart. You got
yeah,
to look for like the two poles. I'm like,
yeah.
I
So
think everyone adds their own name to however they see it, right?
100%.
Okay, for sure. But you just got to find like a pattern of what. Okay.
So for me, when it comes to like finding patterns in the market, I have to ask myself like, what's going to create these patterns? So I've read at least a dozen books on different patterns, but
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, some people they find the same pattern and they call it different names.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you have to find what works for you and what makes sense for you. So for me, what I think about is what drives the markets,
Mm-hmm.
and you and I are not going to drive the market.
Yep.
We don't have enough money to drive the market. So I think about financial institutions, I think about hedge funds, I think about big money, and what does big money need to move the market? Um,
What sector you think the market's moving in now?
what sector?
Yeah.
You mean like, am I thinking about like hospitality? Am I thinking about
Mm-hmm.
technology? So it's so interesting.
Everything seems like minerals, like raw minerals and all that.
A lot of people have been making money off of raw minerals.
Mm.
I think for me, before I used to wake up in a more nicer scan the market. I used
Yeah,
to
yeah.
think, okay, what sector am I going to trade today? And I found that to be extremely, extremely hard for me to just keep track of
Mm.
everything that's going on. I know I watch influencers or different podcasts. People
Mm-hmm.
trade platinum, people trade gold, silver, people trade different things, and some people just trade indexes, you know? And so for me, I've simply focused on the indexes. I've thought to myself, look, I don't think I want to be jumping around doing a bunch of different things. You know, they say they don't fear the man that can do 1,000 things right, but they fear the man that could do the
Yeah,
same thing,
yeah. That's
right, a thousand
yeah.
times. So for me, it's just like I want to get the indexes underneath my belt. And I was reading a book called Bar by Bar by Al Brooks, and he talks about scalability. A lot of people talk about scalability, and he says if you manage to pull 1 to 2 points from the S&P or ES futures every single day consistently, and you scale that up, he did the math, and honestly, like there's no bounds to how much you can make. Obviously, with like liquidity and moving large amounts of money in the market, but you can make millions of dollars a year just trading one thing. You could trade,
No, for sure.
yeah. So
People be following the hype. What's pattern? What is it? Pattern day. I know
yeah,
you just
PDT.
yeah, yeah.
So pattern day trading rule. So a lot of people who trade with different like different brokers,
Mm-hmm.
if you trade more than a certain amount within a given period, you get flagged as a pattern day trader if your account is less than $25,000.
Yo, and that's a crazy thing. That's a quick way to get your bread.
Yeah, it is
Hey
a quick way
man,
to get your bread.
get up, out, out. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. So a lot of people have found like ways around that. Actually, I wanted to start trading stocks in the very beginning of my journey, and that was in 2019.
Yeah.
And because of the pattern day trading rule, I kind of like moved away from that, and it ended
How
up
many
taking
how
me
many
into
times can you
options.
do it? Is it like
Three
three? I
times.
know. I know it's three. I
It's
know.
three times, and once you get flagged, they
Even
ban
with
your
the
account.
25, or once you have
No, once you
25.
have $25,000, you're good. That's
Okay.
the minimum though that you have to have in your account.
Dang.
So we
You
used to
gotta have
trade.
bread to make bread. That's what they trying to say. For
Yeah.
sure.
So you used to have to like time when in the beginning, I had a friend that I was trading with. His name is Jimmy. Shout out to Jimmy. He's the one that
Mm-hmm.
introduced me to trading.
Yeah, for sure.
But in the beginning, we'd have to time throughout the week when we would do it. And then we ended up flipping to not futures, options.
Mm-hmm.
And trading options was a little bit different. You know, you still had it, but then You find ways around it.
Yo, speaking of options, how did you get into trading? I know you just shouted out, bro.
Yeah,
And what was your first? Oh wow, this is like real money moment.
real money moment. It's crazy. Um, so 2019, I get a phone call,
Mhm.
and Jimmy's like, "Yo, I need you to buy this guy's course." And I'm like, "What do you mean buy this guy's course? Like, I'm not spending money. You know where we come from.
Mhm.
People don't have a lot of money to just
That's what I was
spend."
about to ask you. You're invested in courses?
Of course.
Okay, cool. So that's the only
I'll be
one.
I'll be
That's
honest
why I
with
was
you.
hyped when you came. I'm like, bro, like I don't really
It's a
talk like this
real
to other people.
it's a real experience, you know, and I don't want to lie. I don't want to sugarcoat nothing. I'll be honest with the amount of money that I've seen, the amount of money that I've lost,
Bro.
especially coming from some like a family with no money,
Yo, for sure.
immigrant family, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I was introduced to trading in 2019, in the end of 2019, I believe.
Yeah, mine
Um,
was during like the vid era.
yeah,
Yeah, for
exactly
sure,
that
for sure.
time.
Cause you
Yep.
inside.
Yeah, everybody inside
I
is like,
need
how am I
bread,
gonna
bro. Like,
change my life? Exactly, facts. So my friend, he tells me about his course. Course is $30, but that time, like, your $30 is mad money. I can't do that. You know what I mean? It doesn't make
damn.
sense to me. But he says, yo, bro, you're gonna spend $30 on food. Like, you might
Yeah.
as well just get
But
that
the thing is, you
course.
got to get to that mindset of being like, dog, if I don't do this 30 on this, I'm gonna end up spending on some shit, and I'm gonna be like, damn, I could have.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
you're
for sure,
investing in
for
your
sure.
future. You're
Yep.
investing in your
Knowledge
growth.
that you ain't even really know
E-
that's been there.
Exactly. So after that, I was like, look, um, I bought the course. The course introduced me to some very basic information.
Mm-hmm.
What options were, how options were
Mm-hmm.
priced.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I learned the most from YouTube University.
Of
Like,
course.
it introduced me to information
Still
and
learning from there.
facts from YouTube and Investopedia. I was reading, doing a bunch of different things, a bunch of different
Mm-hmm.
and from there I just fell into a rabbit hole of information, deep, deep, deep.
Mm-hmm.
And
I remember nights. I'm just up.
yeah, it's on your
I don't.
mind.
I'm not tired. I'm just like I gotta understand this option shit, bro. I'm
100%.
looking at both sides. I'm like, okay, cool. Look at availability. How many people's in? Finding out deltas and
Yeah.
okay, cool. How many people's interested? And then you got to start thinking like, if all these people are interested, do you think they know something that I don't? Type shit. Like
Yep.
your mind really be clicking. But
It's
I like that
crazy.
though.
So there's so when you trade in options, these contracts, people don't know, they have expiration dates.
Mm-hmm. Bro,
And
Amazon expired. Bro, I thought Amazon was going to be high.
I think the expiration dates is really what like people like to play with. And
Mm-hmm.
a couple years ago, they had introduced zero DTE.
What's zero
Not zero
DTE?
DTE, same week operations, same week expirations.
Mm-hmm.
So same week expirations or zero DTE, 0 days to expiration. You could buy a contract that expires this week or a contract that expires tomorrow. And it was a way, it was basically gambling.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically gambling.
But sometimes them companies be running.
No, and this is very true. But you need a catalyst to make it run. You need
That's what I'm saying.
news. You need something. But back in the day, my friend was like, "Yo, we're gonna play weeklies,"
Mm-hmm.
and weeklies are extremely volatile. But we used to play weeklies.
Damn, son, I wish I had like a click like him, bro.
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah,
like, word,
yeah,
this what we doing? Okay, cool.
yeah.
You
No,
up in the morning excited, guy, let's go.
you used to do it. We used to do it while I was at college.
Mm-hmm.
I used to skip class to trade.
Son.
I used to go to class late to
Yeah,
trade and do a
son.
bunch of
Hey.
different things.
Shut up,
But a big money moment. Now there was a couple times where we made like a couple $100, $1,000,
Mm-hmm.
2,000. Um, but I think I was telling you about this, and that big money moment was we got dragged into that AMC GME
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
saga.
was part of it too.
Yeah, and we turned
Damn.
$1,000 into I think 600 to seven hundred
Damn.
thousand dollars, and it was absolutely insane. We were talking
Yo.
about dropping out of school.
Dog.
We were talking about helping out the family, doing a bunch of
Of
different things.
course.
And you know, they say when things come fast, they go fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have those screenshots on my phone up until like $620,000 on my phone. I'm so excited. Like I'm so excited. I'm in at that summer I was traveling. I was in Mexico. I was in Aruba. I was in going to steakhouses, doing different things, thinking, nah, I'm set. We're gonna take this 600, 700K. We're gonna turn it to 2 million, 3 million.
Of course, you got to think big. So you, yeah.
Exactly, and that's what got us there.
Mm-hmm.
We did
Mm-hmm.
if we didn't think that 1,000 could become that, we would have never made it there. So when we got there, the 600, 700K, we like, nah, this could turn into more.
What was your first trade ever
My first trade ever.
in options that you was like, oh shit? My first one was I'm over here trying to think about it while you're talking. I think it was probably like I think it was around like that GameStop era, or whatever,
Yeah,
or probably JetBlue, one of them.
yeah,
And then literally, I'm like, yo, I'm holding it for a few days. I'm like, it's up and down, it's going, it's going.
yeah,
Not knowing this is before I knew what a meme stock was.
yeah,
So they
yeah.
just run. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And then it's going up on that. Right before I was about to sell it, it jumped, hit like a huge percentage.
Yeah.
As I click sell, I'm like, okay, I got it. That
Yeah.
shit is like I only got like $1. I'm like, yo, what the?
Yeah.
That made me put options that for. I'm like, I'm gonna chill. I gotta learn a little more. So
Yeah.
that got me upset. I'm thinking I won this off the back. I'm like,
Yeah. But options is a risky one.
that shit was volatile as hell, bro.
Yeah, we was up 700K. The next week it was at 300,000, and that's when we closed that position. And so we left 300K in the broker. We was trading through Robinhood at that time.
What made y'all when it hit 700K? What made y'all like not get out at that point?
I'll keep it very simple. For hindsight is 2020,
Yeah.
and I would just say greed and lack of understanding.
Of course.
I think we
Same
didn't.
with me in Amazon.
Yeah.
What's the point? It because my strike was 280.
Yeah.
I got in like around 240.
Yeah.
It hit like it was literally about to touch like 250.
Yeah.
I should have got out with that much. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's way more than whatever I came in with.
Yeah.
But I'm like, all right, nah, okay, it's at 250. It's just gonna run.
Yeah.
Bitch, now it's in like 230. I'm like, dog.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Yeah.
But you learn.
You learn,
bro.
and it's different. It's different too. Like interesting what you were talking about in terms of having like it being at 240, a strike at 280. Like when it comes to options, there's in the money and out of the money. There's so many different things that affect the value of a contract when it comes to trading options. And we probably talked about this off cam too before, but they call them the Greeks. Delta, Vega, Gamma. Implied volatility. Like, I mean, there's a couple different things. Like, I haven't traded options in a couple of years now, so it's starting to leave me a little bit.
So
but if I look at
how do
it,
you do it? Like, matter of fact,
yeah,
because everything we talking about is about this.
yeah.
What's a normal trading day? Was it more a normal trading day for you? Like, when do you start and when do you call it?
It's so funny. The video that I wanted to show you is literally that.
The universe is working.
Exactly what a normal trading day is for me. So what happens is I'll get up at 8:30.
You
And
research before then? You research the day before? How does that work?
no research.
All right.
No research. So I trade one thing. I trade indices. I'll trade ES and sometimes as NQ. And I've recently introduced NQ to what I've been doing. But ES is usually what I'm looking at. And so by 9 o'clock, 9:15, I'm marking out key levels. I'm looking at higher time frame trends to give me my direction, and I'm executing on lower time frames. So for this morning, the first thing I'll look at is the daily and the 4-hour. ES, I looked at this morning, gap down. So that's a lot of bearish momentum. I'm looking at the 4-hour time frame. It's in a bearish trend.
Literally
and so,
about to say, not even to cut your wisdom, God is like, you ahead of the game if you trade in futures.
Yeah.
Because this is basically what the market's gonna be looking like for the rest of the day.
Yeah. So for me, I'm.
Hearing you say that, I'm like, dog, today was red.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm looking at the higher time frames to see what the rest of the day is gonna look like. So I look at the daily, I look at the 4-hour, and I'm immediately thinking, oh, short. It's 9:15 before the market opens. I'm not looking for any longs. The daily is telling me short off the gap down, huge sell off, and the 4-hour is telling me it's a bearish trend. I would say if you look at the data around 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, there was a small bounce after it swept a 4-hour low a couple weeks ago. But I wasn't even like looking at that. I was like, no, I'm following the daily and the 4-hour as my larger time frames. I'll mark out areas of liquidity on the hourly time frame. And on my 5-minute, it's just looking for a change in trend in the direction that follows the higher time frame, and I'm executing off of that. And I'm looking for a 2 to 1. Like I'm risking 1 to make 2.
Of course.
So based off of the evaluation, I would risk around 250 each position size, and then looking to make 500. And this is just eval money. I'm not talking about like real cash for people who are not fully aware. Like I'm just talking about top step evaluations. So
you ever traded with real cash?
Of course.
Futures?
Of course.
How does that work? Is it like similar like options? You put your amount in and it goes like that, or because I heard, and this it kind of like startled me. I'm like, okay, so if it goes past whatever you have in the amount and it keeps going, you're going to end up owing.
So when you trade with futures, depending on your broker, you're trading with margin. So if you look at these contract values,
it has to be margin. It can't be cash.
Margin has to be margin.
Damn. That's how they get you.
So
you gonna need that bread.
Yeah, exactly. So they tell you like, if you want to trade one contract size, you need to have at least this amount in your account. And once you drop beneath that amount, it's like a margin call, not similar to like the big banks and how some big institutions might get margin called, but they'll just message you and say, look, you got to get your account back to that minimum value. And it's not too bad. The minimum value, obviously I'm speaking, if I say like, oh, it's a couple hundred or $1,000, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so grateful for where I'm at in life right now, and
Yeah,
to be able to say that,
bro.
you know, like not bad to call something, oh, just have 1,000 or
Yeah,
so and so in the
yeah.
account. I'm really appreciative of like, you know, the things that I've done to get here. But yeah, you just have to have a certain amount in your account to be able to trade a certain number of contracts, and the price might vary very slightly based off the broker that you're trading with. But for the most part, it's very similar. Um, so yeah, trading with real cash, I've definitely done that, and I felt like a lot of money makes a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what I mean by that is, I'll give it a very simple comparison to like a high yield savings account.
Mm-hmm.
If you're making 5% a year off of $1,000 versus if you're making 5% off of $500,000,
Mm-hmm.
$500,000 or 5% is going to give you a lot of money. You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Mm-hmm.
if you do have a lot more money, when it comes to building an account
Yeah.
and making those smaller 1%, 2%, 3%, 4% off of that larger amount, you're going to make more money, which is why I kind of transitioned to maybe I can get funded through one of these firms, even though that's a whole nother ball game in itself. And people talk about how they're there for your money, they're making money off of fees and all these different things, but I'm not going to get too much into that. It's really just trying to access more capital to build money and build wealth. So that's kind of where my head is at in terms of that.
If you had to explain what you do to a non-trader
Yep.
at a barbecue,
Yep.
what would you say? Like, how do you explain that to them?
I would say I do what the bank do. I don't, okay, when you invest in your retirement,
Mm-hmm.
when you invest in
Yeah.
Fidelity, Charles Schwab, any one of these retirement firms, they're going to tell you that your money is going to grow 8%, 10% with long-term investments. And I'll keep it very simple like that. I don't want to get into any technical terms.
Not for sure.
I'm looking to take my money and grow it a small percentage. But instead of it being on an annual basis, I'm looking to do it on a weekly or a monthly basis.
Yo, we're not like any financial fiduciaries.
No, not
We're
at
no
all.
financial advisors. You know what I'm saying? Trade at your own risk type shit.
100%. Only put money in that you're willing to lose.
Yo,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
what's the most common beginner mistake you've seen or made that cost you the most? A beginner mistake.
A beginner mistake
Yeah.
would be, I would say,
Would greed fall under being a beginner mistake?
I was gonna say greed. It's funny that you say that. I was gonna say greed, but I genuinely feel like a lot of people jump in before they fully even understand how their platform works. Like, if I ask you what a broker is, you can't tell me what a broker is, and you're telling me you're risking 100, 200, $300, $400. I'm like, you don't know what a broker is? If you're telling me you don't
What's a
know,
broker?
right, is what holds your money. Basically, you're gonna make transactions through them. They're
Yeah.
gonna keep a history of your transactions, your position size, the fees associated with your transactions. You put money through them, and they are the ones that's gonna connect you. Well, your broker houses your money, and your trading platform
Yeah.
is what you're trading through when you're looking at actual charts that are gonna represent the data that's given to you by the New York Stock Exchange or the Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
Do you have like a preferred for you, like a preferred broker?
No,
A preferred broker and then a preferred platform that
I
you trade
de-
on.
so I definitely have a preferred platform. I use TradingView. TradingView for me
And then you could
has
trade on TradingView as well, right? It's not just charts.
it's not just charts. So
Okay.
there's okay. So for example, before TD Ameritrade
Charles
got bought,
Schwab.
became Charles Schwab, they had Thinkorswim. I think
They
Thinkorswim
still
still
have it. Yeah,
exists.
yeah, we
Yeah,
still got it.
100%. It still exists. But you can see that there's a platform coupled with the bank. They're together.
Yeah, yeah.
TradingView is slightly different. A bunch of different brokers you can connect your broker to TradingView, and you can trade using that platform because that's
I
your
wonder if Charles Schwab
preferred
is there.
platform. But then your broker could be a different one. It could be TradeStation. It could be Owanda. It could be Trade08. It could be, I mean, Robinhood is another broker that's
Bro, I
now.
remember I downloaded Trade State. Bro, I've been through this shit, dog.
Yeah.
I remember I downloaded Trade Station. The reason I wanted to get into it, I'm like, yo, this is like video games, bro. Like,
No, it
you're a
is.
mom. I'm like, okay, as long as you pay attention, like when you playing the game, like,
Yeah, you
okay,
gotta
I
lock
lost.
in.
I
Yeah.
know what I gotta do. I gotta pay it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, since you do futures, right? What do you call it? You know the table that you is red and green.
Dom.
Yeah.
Dom. So they call it level 2.
Yeah.
They call it the Dom. So the table that's red and blue, or some people can change
Go
the
red and green
colors or
or whatever,
whatever,
yeah.
red or green, whatever. So what is it showing you? It's showing you size.
Cause that moves quick.
Exactly. It's showing you size at different price levels. So a lot of people use that because they want to know some people use it as areas of support and resistance, or some people. So what it is it's going to tell you, let's say we're looking at a chart, right? And let's say the chart, the bottom of your screen, you see it's at level 100, and then at the top you see it's at 250. You can look at that DOM and it will tell you, okay, there's sellers at 247.
Do you use DOM?
I don't use a DOM. But I understand why people do. Because I would want to be aware of why people, if there are a lot of sellers at level 247. If there is a size or an order waiting to be filled at 247 for 1,000 contracts or 1,000 shares or 2,000 shares or whatever the case may be, I want to be aware of that, because I know that if I'm going long, which means I'm bullish, means I'm looking at the stock, whatever, equity or whatever you're doing is going up. If I'm looking for it to go up and I see that there's a huge amount of sellers at that level, I'm expecting some profit taken or a slight pullback or whatever the case may be. I might want to take profit there. I might want to size down or take some profits on the way just in case it's a huge flush coming at that level.
You think the time intervals give people anxiety? Like if you trade off a minute compared to like a 5 minute compared to an hour.
Yeah.
A minute, that's just...
Yes. I 100% will say that it gives people anxiety, but I only feel like that anxiety comes from not fully understanding your system. Not only that, but it's very fast. Like you said, very fast. You have to be able to internalize that information and make decisions revolved around money very quickly. Yeah, and people become very emotional when it comes to money, and we know that, you know, like our upbringing and different things like that. Money is not easy to come by, and people work really hard to obtain the things that they have. So when you say, "Oh, I lost $1,000 today," or "I lost $1,000 in 5 minutes," that hurts some people's chests to hear. So you can imagine, I didn't finish the story about the $300,000 that we took out.
Go ahead.
We lost $250,000 right after that, and we were only left with 50,000. And I'm grateful that we walked away with 50 grand. But think about us being at 700K, almost $1 million, and then leaving with $50,000. And some people say, if that was me, I would never be able to do that. I would never be able to.
On your part, his part, or you guys like agreed to like, yo, let's do this, keep going?
I love my friend Jimmy. I think it was greed on his part, and for me, I think it was more ignorance.
Okay.
So, well, for us, we were both ignorant at that time. We know so much more about the markets and different things like that. But at that time, because he had convinced me, and I saw it with my own eyes, we saw 1,000 become 700,000. Nobody could tell me anything. He could tell me that this is going to 5 million, and I'm believing it. Because I literally just saw 1,000 turn into 600, 700, 800,000.
Plus, I trust you, bro. If we doing this together,
we doing it together. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, that's kind of where my head was at. And at some point, one of us should have been logical. We should have had that voice of reason to say, look, 500K, 600K, we could even take that money, obviously we have to pay taxes on it and whatever the case may be, put money to the side and then take the rest.
You know how the taxes work? How does the taxes work? This would be annoying. I ain't gonna hold you.
Taxes?
I'm making the bread and I'm putting in the work. My health is getting fucked up for like being on the shit.
So it depends on
how much
you make and also what you're trading. So with futures, well, obviously all of it is capital gains tax, but capital gains works different for whatever market you're trading in. Futures has better tax benefits, which is why a lot of people shift to futures. And I think options and stocks and different things like that, I think you get charged underneath the whatever tax bracket you fall in, the regular income tax. That would and then if you're trading with prop firm or evaluation firm or whatever you want to call it, because they were prop firms before the modern day prop firms, and those were different from what we know today. So if you want to call it prop firms or evaluation firms, those get charged underneath 1099. So 1099 is you're a contract worker, whatever money you make, you're still seen as a contract worker and you're filing it underneath your 1099.
Okay. What's your go-to market product to trade and why that one?
ES. ES is my go-to, and the reason why I like the indices is they're very liquid. And when I say liquid, I mean very easy to get in and very easy to come out. Now, we've talked about options and trading options before. When trading options, it takes you, if you're not in the right market or if that market doesn't have a lot of volume, you could be stuck trying to sell a position and you can't get out of that position.
Yeah, I definitely been in that.
Yeah,
I
like
definitely had to learn that for sure.
you can see your contract going up and you're like, oh, this contract is worth 100. It's worth 500. It's worth $1,000. Your contract could be worth $5,000. If there's
Mm-hmm.
no one on the other side to buy it when you're ready to sell,
Mm-hmm.
you're stuck with that contract. And like we talked about, these contracts have expirations. And if you're not in the money, I don't even want to get into exercising a contract or whatever the case may be. It can either go to zero or you have to exercise or whatever the case may be. I don't even want to get into that. But there are a lot of times where that value can go straight to zero and you lose your money because there isn't anyone on the other side of it to
No,
sell.
for sure,
So
for sure.
so yeah, ES easy, very liquid. It's a liquid market. I like it. I was introduced to it through Al Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
After I read that book bar by bar, it's like 500 pages. Um, it introduced me to so much information. He had me convinced that I was a futures trader, and it worked. You know, since I read that book, I've been in the futures market,
What's the book again?
bar by bar by Al Brooks.
Okay, okay, cool.
Yeah, so that was it's a heavy read. I would not say it's beginner friendly at
Mm-hmm.
all. Um, but getting through it and then practicing some of those concepts, and I practiced those concepts for 2 years, and I would say honestly, I didn't give it enough time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did switch after that, and we can get into that in terms of buying
No, for sure,
courses
for
and
sure,
stuff
for
like that.
sure.
I did switch, but no, he definitely taught me a lot, and I still even see some of the things that I've read in that book in the market right now, and I use them to help me make decisions.
Mm. How do you stop yourself from a bad revenge? How do you stop yourself from revenge trading after a bad loss?
That's an amazing question. When I'm sitting down, and you have to know yourself, like
Yeah,
the markets, what it will do is
this stuff is definitely not for the weak mentally. Like it definitely,
it will expose
yeah,
you.
yeah.
It will expose you and teach you so much about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and it will teach you about your pride, about
Mm-hmm.
your ego,
Mm-hmm.
whether your
Discipline, all of
greed.
that.
It would, if you're a disciplined individual, it will teach you so much about
I don't
yourself.
trade every day, bro.
You don't trade every day?
Nah,
How?
I look at it, but I'm like, dog, like I don't know.
Yeah,
I just, I don't, I'm not even like that emotional towards money in general.
yeah,
So I think this is probably why I found my way here because I'm like, I get that we need it, but I'm like, bro, like
yeah,
you gotta kind of like risk it to get the biscuit type shit. You know what
yeah.
I mean? So I'm like, I don't know.
I
It's
think
cool. I look. I'm like, damn, I missed it, but all right.
yeah. So I feel my heart racing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel my hand hovering over the mouse. I feel like these different things that I've learned about myself. And once those feelings start to come, I immediately log out of all of my accounts. Everything I log out of and I close my screen.
I
I'm
definitely
like,
breathe a lot though. Like
yeah,
breathe. I'm like, dog, you
yeah,
gotta,
you got to take a deep breath.
yeah. Because if you lose that bread that you what you doing? Because now you're
Yeah.
gonna see it running like I could have. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot for sure.
Another thing that I've learned about
Mm-hmm.
losing is if I get extremely emotional about losing, I don't trust my system enough. The system that I've created to make me money,
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust it enough because when it comes to trading, you have things like win percentage, your risk to reward,
Yeah.
risk management, right? How do you manage your risk so that you don't make a horrible financial
There's
decision?
like a list of like the best traders. There's like that's like a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. There is a list.
Bro.
There's different tournaments that people
Yeah,
compete
that's what I'm
into in
saying.
terms of being the best. That's why when people come to me and tell me, yo, this shit is fake, or people tell me, oh, this is gambling, or people, it is gambling, but it's not gambling like the regular individual. It's gambling the way that a casino gambles.
And some of them people that be jumping online and they talk about like they the best trader. Like there's a list, a legit. This is what you got to go through to be a trader.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you just talking like online to sound cool, then
Right.
bro, like you not really trying to be elite. Like you
Yeah.
know, like
And that's
this
why
is
I
their
don't
life and they know what they doing.
100%. So
Um,
I can't listen to any and
yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
When I go out there, I'm looking for someone to be genuine.
Mhm,
I'm looking for somebody to talk about the hardships,
mhm,
talk
mhm,
about the feelings that you get when you take a
mhm,
big loss, talk
mhm.
about the tears, the years that it takes to become successful, the reps that you have to put in, the hours, the sleepless nights, the amount of studying that you have to put in.
Dog.
You don't just wake up and say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this in a month or two," and then boom, I'll become successful at
I used to
this.
wake up to trade the foreign like around 3 for the futures.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
bro, like I said, like video game wise, I would really get up and like what they call it back testing and trying
yeah,
to adjust numbers to see okay this is how it works, this is
yeah,
where it go. I was like legit on it.
yeah,
That's why I got a gaming laptop. So
yeah.
like this shit is
Yeah,
it's I really hey
that's I'm for me. I sat down and
I love this stuff, bro. I love
yeah,
this game.
I've gone through like 2 years plus of data trading other strategies, and now what I'm doing right now because I feel like it fits more of my
Hmm.
personality. I think that's another thing. trade in higher time frames versus the 1 minute, the 5 minute. It has to match with your personality. Someone who can quickly make decisions and do all those different things, definitely.
If you overthink it, that ain't for you.
Exactly. You might be a little bit better at swing trading, swinging, letting your position play over the course of a day or 2 days.
That's crazy that you asked that. That's my next question.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so yeah, like where's it? Matter of fact, do you prefer quick trades or holding for weeks or days, for days or weeks?
I'm definitely not holding for days or weeks.
You just said
I
you said 2 hours.
I
You said
open
2
and
hours.
close within the same day for sure.
Mm.
Before, so I tried scalping these last 2 years.
Ooh.
I struggled with it a lot. I did, me personally, and maybe it was a strategy, maybe it was whatever the case may be. But I struggled with it a lot in terms of sitting down, and then I had to get over.
Scalping is just taking at the top and dipping.
It's just taking a trade within a certain. Your trade's like 5 minutes max. Scalper, like that's how I view it. You're taking.
And do you need the left to work with the right?
Always.
Okay.
I always say that.
Okay.
And I always say that.
Time frame when you go to the left compared to the right. Like day before, a week before, how do you?
So that exactly right. So when you're scalping, you're probably not looking the day before. You're still gonna look to the left, but you're probably only look to the left for an hour. Probably only look to the left for 2 hours or 3 hours, a couple hours. You're not looking a week in the past. Whereas if you're looking for a larger move, a move that's gonna last you 4, 5, 6 hours, that's gonna last you 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Those moves, you're not gonna look for the last hour. You're gonna look for days of data to help you make that decision for what's gonna come next. Yeah.
Oh man, yo, you coming back, right?
Well, 100%. I'll come back. Yeah.
We just told we gotta wrap it up, man.
No problem. Yeah.
Hey, damn, I don't even know what the name of the show. This is amazing. Oh no, I mean today's best friend, but yeah, that's. Do you are you like heavy on social media type?
I've deleted all my social media.
Bro,
it's
real.
Yeah, these last 2-3 years, I think after I turned 26 on Friday. So for me, it's once I graduated university, my thought process was I gotta make it out the hood. I have to make money, change my life, change my family's life. So I fully locked in.
That's why I asked him to come here, man, because he get it.
Yeah.
I was so hyped when I was home. I'm like, yo, this is the only person I could talk to.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, yo, bro, you traded today?
Right. No, I did actually. I could show you the recording when we get off of this.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Oh, sorry. But I can show you the recording of me taking a trade this morning and what that looked like and then how it played out today. But yeah. I don't even remember what that last part was, but yeah.
Yo, today's episode's The Art of Jug.
The Art of Jug. I like that. The Art of Jug.
Bro, you definitely gotta come back. Cause like I said, bro, like I don't when I'm doing this, I mean I might be antisocial, but I'm only coming out to talk to people that I can really
relate to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean I feel like
especially if this is what I do all the time.
Yeah.
If I really can't talk to you, then I'm not being my kid self and be like, yo, I'm excited to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, if I wouldn't have known that today was a red day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, today was
definitely a red day. I just made my first YouTube video, but I haven't dropped it yet. It will be out before the end of the month. I have to create the name, the banner, so I don't even have that to give you in terms of what I'm dropping. But
all this stuff is in this is pre-production right now. I'm still working on all this.
Yeah.
That's why definitely for sure. We could definitely stay in contact.
Yeah.
I'm happy you pulled up, man. I'm like, damn, everybody busy.
Yeah.
And I thought the last time we met, I asked people to come up. Quincy showed up. TJ showed up.
Yeah.
Bell's out of state, so whenever he get back.
Yeah.
I guess the road was busy or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just missing I guess 2 people. I think Kyle said he won't get on here.
Yeah.
Man, whatever. But yeah, man, I'm just this is for us, bro.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people that's cool. And I think you guys are cool. I'm not looking outside to all these other celebrities and stuff. I'd rather the people that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Because I know them. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, the Art of Jug. Thank y'all. Liz, you keep going or you done? Yeah? No? I don't know. Okay. Okay.